Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Narman with the DC branch of Great Millstone here in the District of Columbia. Alright, back for another video. And in this one, boy, this is wild, but it highlights the level of division. Not only we always celebrate with these Edomites, these so-called white people, but amongst Jake. But first and foremost, call hello Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. And of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. I'd like to also send out salutations to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways, pushing the truth across the four corners of this earth, because indeed, prophecy say time is short, and it is. Alright. So, yeah, this is wild, man. The level of hatred, because this polarized, very polarized, or polarizing, I should say, presidential election. All right, you got an individual that's playing on the ignorance and gullibility of Jake, and she's not even our people. And you have another one that's using the hatred towards Jake to rile up his base. All right, and neither one of them are for our people, but yet, oh man, woo-wee. We gotta get the fuck up out of here. Someone said something in another video, unrelated but related at the same time, and you know, wow, it made sense. But we're gonna go ahead and well, I might as well go ahead and say it. But he made the point of, and it was comparing, had to do with boxing. All right, and you notice how Jake catches all the flack. People from all other nations come to America, and this is the only place where all of these immigrants, they join in with Bash and Jake. And the thing with it was this undefeated Jake. He's in the Mayweather camp, I think. He's undefeated, and his first 3 fights were against undefeated opponents. And yet you hear, especially when it comes to you know, Issachar, you know, they're always, you know, bashing, and it's just like you forget about Julio Cesar Chavez, you know, and he pointed out the difference in between those records, you know, who he fought when he first started, and you know, compared to what this Jake is doing. But they overlooked that, you know, and the point in this is that, you know, hey, we're despised by even amongst our own, you know. It's sad, but everybody comes over here and bashes, you know, the so-called African American, you know, and there's a reason for that, and it's spiritual. All right, when you know who the tribes are. But back to this. Yeah, this is just a whole nother level, and it's going to get worse, of hatred, and this is within the so-called community. Let's go ahead and roll this.
Hello fam, this is Jay Cameron inviting you to join us in Ethiopia next March 2025, and this is going to be an iconic trip that you don't want to miss, a trip of a lifetime. We're going to be visiting Addis Ababa, Gondo.
This is, you know, something else, but you got to realize, I wasn't going to comment on it, but I am, because whoever sees this, you got to know, Kush is not our people. We are not Hamites. We are not so-called Africans. All right, I just got to get that out of the way. All right. Because it may be just someone just sees this, and you know, no, and they always, you know, so what, you know, these people hate us, all right, and you know, he's sponsoring all these trips to, I mean, just to see, for seeing sake, you know, fine, but a lot of our people, unfortunately, believe in this like kindred, you know, spirit type shit, and they're not our people.
Or Lalibela, you'll have a chance to taste the amazing Ethiopian food. You'll also have a chance to visit the Rastafarian community. You'll get the history, you get the fashion.
It's a whole nother lesson in itself.
It's going to be a trip, an experience of a lifetime. So make sure you sign up to join us in Ethiopia, March 2025.
I want y'all to watch this video really quick of a brother who is pretty upset behind a comment that was left on one of his TikTok videos. Check it out.
Y'all see this? This is what I'm dealing with. But guess what? This wasn't said by a white person. Look at it. This was said to me by a black woman. A black woman said this to a black man because she don't agree with how he thinks politically. I didn't say anything bad towards her. I didn't speak any harm towards her. I didn't say anything bad about Kamala. I didn't speak any harm towards Kamala. I just voiced my opinion. And you allowed it to make you that angry that you would wish death upon another black man. As a black woman, how can you say you represent black excellence and this is what you say?
So as you saw there, he was responding to a sister that said that we won't care about you when the police, do something to you, and Trump gives them immunity. And of course he should be upset about that. And he says, why is it our people that do that to us? Y'all mad because I want to vote for Trump to the point of you don't care if the police unalives me? You were that mad? You that much?
Two, you gotta recognize, bro. The bro doesn't realize, hey, the so-called black woman has been your enemy on this side, especially here. For the longest time, in case you didn't know that, all right. Hey, all you have to do is, if you don't believe the spiritual component of it, just look into the Willie Lynch letter. I mean, whether you believe in the letter or not, you got to look at how it's played out in reality, and it corresponds to it, whether you believe in the letter or not. Using, the woman to raise the children because it's for what? I can't really remember the exact phrasing, but it's good for economics, and that's true. All right. Playing each other, playing one against the other, that sort of thing, divide and conquer. It's so easy. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't come to no surprise. But then again, if you're all in this world, and unfortunately, a lot of our men were raised by single mothers, so you've got that, that dynamic there, and that's what they do, raise up males, all right, basically to kowtow to the woman, that Queen of Heaven worship. And you see it, so many men in prison or in the ground as a result of that. Let's continue.
And your feelings about how I'm going to vote, and like you said, nobody else's community gets all of that. Oh, you're right, you shouldn't be doing this, or you Asian. There's black people who was doing that. I mean, it's like, how are...
True, and a lot of things going on in these other communities, they manage to keep hush-hush, because Jake gets all into their emotions, and again, this is something that's been exploited against, our own people. You just become completely unhinged. You got so much stress that you're dealing with, just this whole fucking system against you, and so much shit built up, and it's just hard to contain a lot of times, and being also the nature of Jake in general, but yeah, this is pretty, but this was again prophesied. We're in this period now where shit is so much division, here we go. This is Mark 3:24. If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, that house will not be able to stand. And if Satan has risen up against himself, oops, I'm reading the wrong one, so hockey. If a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan has risen up against himself and is divided, he cannot stand but has an end. In the NLT, a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. Is that not what we're headed into? For those of you that can't see it, yes. It's no coincidence that that movie came out just a short while ago. Predictive programming or not. Alright? A kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. Similarly, a family splintered by feuding, and this is the part that concerns us, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. We're not talking about only your nuclear family, husband, wife, children, or even your extended family, cousins, whatever have you. No, we're talking about within your own ethnic group. Alright? People are so divided over a woman that's not even, so far as we can determine by all the evidence that's we can see, isn't even your people. So what if she went to Howard? All kinds of people go to Howard. How does that make her your people? Simple shit. This is the simple shit that gets Jake caught up. Alright? So what if she went to HBCU? So, whatever. You know, she was smart in that she used, I hate to put it this way, but in more ways than one, she used what she had. Alright? Just because you all thought she was one of you. Alright? That's why we always say you have to, this thing calling yourself black, it's worked against you in so many ways. Alright? Instead of no, and this is what we're trying to tell you, but you won't listen. You need to know who you are, because so much has been hidden from us. Alright? As punishment, of course. And then this devil that's ruling over us, he wants to make sure that we stay in the predicament we're in now, in the position we're in now, and that's very low. See, that helps him. But now these things are coming, you know, it's like that, it was described, you know, the truth being like a buoy, you know. You can hold it down and suppress it for so long, but when it gets loose and it comes up, it usually comes up with a lot of force. Alright? And, you know, that's scriptural. Let's go real quick. Let's see. Let's see. What is that? Hold on just a minute before I go in. Let's see. Rock. Hold on. So like it, just one moment here. Let's see. All right. Let's see. No, it's not. I believe it's second Ezra. Hold on. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I was right. Alright. Oh, so let's go to Rock. Whoops. Second Ezra. 6. Nope, 6. Alright. I'll start at 27. It says, for evil shall be put out, and it will, and deceit shall be quenched. Because there's a whole lot of that. That's what, you know, we always concentrate mainly on you know, Esau's blessing being a sword, but deceit is another big one. Remember, Revelation 20th chapter, all right? And he's let loose for that little season, what? So he could deceive the whole world. 28, as for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. And that's what's happening now. Someone, whoever sees this, if you haven't seen that clip, brothers put it in our group chat. Hey, what Cannon's Owens went in on this rabbi. Oh man, on the Piers Morgan show. Oh man, you got to see that. They might try to unalive her. Now, if they're smart, they won't. If they're desperate, they will. And it's the reason I phrase it like that, because if they're smart, they don't want to draw more attention that's already been drawn toward them, all right, for the last almost year now. But we also understand that they're pretty desperate because they want that, you know, don't want any more exposure than what they have. They want it to go back to what it was, but it's too late. You know, your own invention, well, not your invention, but the internet, you couldn't contain it. And this is all, you know, orchestrated by the Most High, of course. Letting you know you don't have as much power as you think you do. I'm talking about the so-called white man, all right? He thinks himself on some kind of level with the Most High, and he's being exposed. You know, I always refer to Ezekiel 28 chapter, where Ezekiel is, I think, the ruler at that time with Ithbaal the third, all right, and this proud devil, you know, as an example of many others in the scriptures, so proud that he thought himself, again, as a god. And in Ezekiel 28 chapter, it's a point there where he said, you know, Moses said, no, you're not a god, you're a man, and you're going to be exposed as such. And that's what's going to happen here. All right, so let's go back again. And if Satan be divided and fights against himself, how can he stand? He would never survive, and he's not. All right. This is it. This is, this is as good as it gets for these devils. And a lot of them know it. Hence, what's coming in the very near future. Revelation 12:12. You know, 12:10, he's highlighted all of Jake's faults, and, you know, Most High, this is what your people are doing. In the meantime, he's the one behind all of it. That's why Isaiah 14:1 says what it says. The Most High will yet choose Israel. All right. For some reason, this devil thinks that what he does is, you know, the Most High can't see that. All right. It's the hubris of this devil. All right. For those of you who don't know what that means, let's get it real quick. His pride is such, look at this, overbearing pride or presumption, arrogance. It's being used and has been used against you all along. For us to get, for this truth to get as far out there as it did, it was because of this, your overbearing pride or presumption. All them Negroes, nobody will ever believe them, your arrogance. And now you want to put that genie back in the bottle. You know, just as a wow. Let's continue on with the videos just a little bit more. But this Jake has, you know, and this is not the first time you've heard black woman. There was a group, a phone call that was recorded. When was this? A year or two ago. Jake put up a video. I believe he was in the truth, and where I think you had a bunch of Jake women and at least a couple of Edomite women, and they were talking about how they like it when, you know, Jake is out there and you know, the white police officers pull up and Jake's demeanor changes. You know, he doesn't act as tough, you know, then, and they were all excited about that. It turned them on, and these were the Jake women talking like this. And then the white woman interjects and brings up a point about how many are killed every, how many minutes was it? And then the Jake woman says, well, it needs to be more. And the Jake that was doing the video, he just started crying, man. A grown ass man, man. He didn't realize that the hatred that the so-called black woman had against the black man was to that extent. Yeah, and he just lost it. If I could find that video, I didn't think about it until, you know, just this moment, but yeah, shouldn't come as no surprise.
Are you that emotionally involved in somebody else's choice? That is very baffling to me. How do you care that much? Like when you go into the booth, you go by yourself. You don't go with that man or anybody else, and it's none of your business how he wants to vote. And if he's using his social media platform to talk about what he wants to do, go somewhere else. Keep on scrolling, but you gonna stop and say we won't care if the police do something to you? That is wild. Like y'all talk about red MAGA, yeah, they got their issues. They like to storm a little Capitol here and there. But blue MAGA, y'all just as bad. Y'all wishing harm on people because they want to exercise democracy. Why? I don't care that much about how somebody else wants to vote. I'm gonna tell y'all about why I'm voting or whatever the case is or who I don't like. But I would never get that emotionally charged over somebody else's vote to wish them.
See, like I said earlier, Jake gets so into their emotion, all right, and people would take advantage of that. That's why that saying about not wearing your emotion on your sleeves, all right.
Man, what's wrong with some of y'all? Anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that, and for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra K Show, here on YouTube. Peace.
So there you go. You've got let's see, and this is why Yahweh Shah says here, let me get this, scroll all the way down, bear with me while this thing catches up. Aside from it seeming to have a mind of its own, this is Luke 12 and 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? If it be already kindled. Alright. So, sometimes in one of these commentaries, you got to be careful, like I've always said, like, you know, be careful, but every now and then, alright, no less, this is from Calvin, alright, it says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and let's just go down here. It says the gospel is metaphorically compared to fire because it violently changes the face of things. Alright. The disciples having falsely imagined that while they were at ease and asleep, the kingdom of the Most High would come. But Yahushua declares on the contrary that there must be a dreadful conflagration to kindle the world. Alright. So, yeah. There's going to be, as the scripture says also, you know, within the family unit, as we go down here further, verse 53, the father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Alright? So, yeah, you talk about division, like I said, not only in your nuclear family or extended, you know, as far as blood relations go, but you're talking about your own community. Alright? So that's what's coming. And it's beautiful for us because, you know, get this shit over with. You know, that's my personal wish there. And it's happening. There's so many things happening now that we're not only talking about events such as politics and, you know, crime and all that shit, but the celestial events that have been going on the last few years. Alright? Things, sightings in the heavens, the so-called UFO, the chariots, you know, they're becoming more prevalent. So this is going to be it. Yeah, so she just felt it necessary to go on his page and make that comment about, I hope the police unalive you and I won't feel, you know, I'm paraphrasing, won't give a damn, you know. Wow. Division. So with that, once again, I hope whoever views this is edified as to what's going on. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. Alright, filter everything through the scriptures as it's supposed to be. We're letting you know what time you're in, and that indeed time is growing short. So with that, and also to remind you about the power of prayer and fasting. We're coming up here next week, Wednesday at evening, for the Day of Atonement. Alright, so with that, until the next video, hey, shalom.